If you're an entrepreneur, you know this feeling. You're down in the marketing trenches, right? You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, posting content, running ads, trying all the new tactics, but the results, they just aren't matching the effort. Okay, let's get into this, because there's a really good chance you don't have a marketing problem. You have a map problem. And look, this feeling is totally normal. Your sales have kind of hit a wall, revenue is all over the place, and that gap between where you are and where you thought you'd be just keeps getting wider. You're working your tail off, but you're just not arriving at your destination. So what's the fix? Well, usually when we feel lost, what do? We look for a new map. And in the marketing world, two really popular, really powerful playbooks have shown up to guide entrepreneurs. Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers and Simba Madunzo's The One-Page Digital Marketing Plan. Now, both promise a path to growth, but their paths are, well, fundamentally different. At first glance, the difference seems pretty simple. Hormozi's book is an absolute masterclass in getting people who are already at your front door to say yes. You do this by making an offer so good they'd feel stupid saying no. Madunzo's book, on the other hand, is about building the entire system that finds those people in the first place and then guides them to your door. So one is about the moment of the sale, the other is about the entire journey. So let's zoom in on $100 million offers. Think of this as sharpening the very tip of your spear. The whole idea is that the quality of your offer, it pretty much determines everything right at the point of sale. But here's the key. It assumes you have an audience. It assumes you have traffic, and your main bottleneck is just turning that attention into actual money. It's an incredible tool for monetization. All right, now let's flip over to the One-Page Digital Marketing Plan. This book comes at the problem from the ground up. It's not just focused on the offer, it's a complete operating system. It's designed to give you total clarity on who your customer is, how to reach them, and what to say when you do. It's the blueprint for the entire customer creation machine, and it's built to be simple and, most importantly, something you can actually execute.
And this right here, this brings us to the absolute core of this explainer. The choice between these two books isn't really about which one is better. It's about correctly diagnosing the problem your business is actually facing right now. Because if you apply the wrong solution, no matter how powerful it is, you're just going to end up with more frustration.
So what is the fundamental difference here? I mean, it's not just about selling versus marketing. It's really about optimizing that final step versus building the entire staircase from the ground up. And that distinction forces us to ask a much, much deeper question about our own businesses. This quote, man, this just nails it. This is the central idea. For so many entrepreneurs who are stuck in that cycle of just being busy but not getting results, the problem isn't the offer. It's the lack of a clear, repeatable system for getting in front of the right people to begin with. You're trying to optimize the very last step of a journey you haven't even properly mapped out yet. Does any of this feel familiar? That inconsistent revenue, ad spend that feels like you're just lighting money on fire, content that gets a ton of likes but, zero actual customers. This is what a direction problem looks and feels like in the real world. It's like you're flying without instruments. Sure, you're moving fast, but you have no earthly idea if you're actually getting any closer to your destination. Okay, so now that we have this new way of looking at it, clarity versus conversion, we can finally figure out which map is the right one for you right now. And this isn't about what you want to work on. This is about what your business needs you to solve today. Let's just break this down. Take a look at these two columns and be really honest with yourself about where your business is at. If you've got a steady stream of leads, you know your customer inside and out, and your only real problem is getting that final yes, then 100M Offers is your playbook, hands down. But if your marketing feels totally random, if you're not even 100% sure who your perfect customer is, if what you need is a repeatable system from A to Z, then the one-page plan was literally designed to solve that foundational problem.
This choice, it actually points to a much deeper challenge that pretty much every single entrepreneur faces. That constant battle between just chasing random, fragmented tactics versus building one cohesive system.
Let's be honest, we are drowning in marketing advice. The internet is full of it, and this leads to the real enemy of progress: information overload. You're just getting bombarded with 1,000 different hacks and tactics, which leads to analysis paralysis. That's where you end up doing a tiny bit of everything and accomplishing absolutely nothing.
So this is the crucial difference. On one side, you have this messy pile of disconnected tactics, a great headline here, a new ad format there, and it just leads to unpredictable results. On the other side, you have a single, unified system, a clear map where every single action from the content you create to the final offer is connected and serves one single purpose. This cuts through the confusion and dramatically increases your ability to get things done, consistently.
And this is backed up by one of the most powerful ideas about performance and is cited directly in the one-page plan. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, said, "You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Your big ambitions and your goals are basically worthless without a reliable system to support them. A great marketing system is what makes great marketing goals actually achievable."
So where does all this leave us? We've kind of journeyed from that initial confusion, that marketing mayhem, to hopefully a place of real clarity. The goal now is for you to identify your next right move, based on a true understanding of your business's core problem.
This quote right here really captures the entire explainer. It's your decision-making tree in 2 sentences. If you have traffic and you deeply know your customer, then yes, by all means, optimize your offer. That is your biggest lever for growth. But for everyone else, for everyone still trying to figure out how to get that consistent flow of customers, the answer isn't another shiny tactic. It's a system.
Now, to be crystal clear, both of these books are incredibly valuable tools. This isn't about one being good and one being bad. But as we've seen, one is like a specialized tool for optimizing a machine that's already running pretty well, while the other is the actual blueprint for building the machine in the first place. One solves a problem that many entrepreneurs face later on, while the other solves that deeper, more common problem that stops most businesses from ever even getting there. And so we end here with the question for you. Forget what all the gurus are yelling about this week. Forget the latest trends. Just look at your business, at your results, at that feeling of being stuck. What problem are you really trying to solve today? Is it a conversion problem, or is it a clarity and direction problem? Your answer to that one question will determine your next right move.